Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Colonial Sports Center. My name is Monkey D. Luffy, King of the Pirates, here along with a hot dog, K01, Cam Wickline, and of course, another fantastic night here on RMU-TV. Cam, been a long time since I've seen you up here on this desk with me, but boy, am I excited to have you back.
Oh, Case, I'm so excited to catch up on all these Colonial sports. It's been a while since I've been on the desk. Loaded week of action, and basketball comes back. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about basketball later in the show, but we have some breaking news right now coming into us. Women's soccer today, big playoff picture standings here, and they lost their game today 2-0. Going into today, they sat in the 7th place position, needed a win and an Oakland loss, but they just couldn't find it. Lose 2-0 today, the Colonials, and so they will miss the Horizon League playoffs. That's right, the women's soccer team just misses out on the Horizon League playoffs. The Youngstown State Penguins came in and won that game 2-0. It was one of them just came 4 minutes into the game. Colonials let up a penalty, and from there 1-0, and the Colonials could not find an answer. It was 2-0 still in the first half, and the offense never found its footing. And unfortunately, Cam, they won't find any footing in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. The Colonials team looked like they were going to make the playoffs throughout the course of the year, but not able to do it in the later stages.
Yeah, and it was a tough fight. Going at the end of the season, they went their last 4 games without a win, including 3 straight losses with this one tonight. And it's just a rough way to end the season. Big shout out, though, Ava Trethaway has been so good. These, trying to fight for the playoffs, been so good, getting a point streak in 6 straight games besides tonight. And, Cam, just a tough loss and a tough way to end the season.
Yeah, it's just really frustrating. As you said, last 4 games without a win, whenever it's like that, we're going to take a look at the standings here right now. Whenever it's like that, you feel like the playoffs were just so within reach, and they weren't able to get there.
Yeah, Cam, it's just tough.
Yeah, if you take a look at these standings here, Milwaukee led the charge with 23 points, Northern Kentucky 22. They were kind of the big dogs of the conference. And then it gets real kind of bunched up throughout the rest. And you see Robert Morris, they get, is it 2 or 3 points for a win, Case? 3?
For Horizon League?
Yeah, I believe it's 3. So, wait, 2 or 3? 3.
For real soccer, it's 3. I'm not sure. For Horizon League, it might be 2. So
whatever it is, it was going to be, they were just a win away regardless from getting into those playoffs. Now, speaking of playoffs, we're going to take a look at the men's team's bracket right here. We're going to take a look at the men's bracket right here. Cleveland State leads the charge. They're the #1 seed. Although, if you had to ask me, my favorite to win the tournament is Purdue-Fort Wayne. Purdue-Fort Wayne likely has the player of the year in the Horizon League in Shane Anderson. And they, as a team, are the best goals allowed, best goals against a game, and they're scoring the most goals in the Horizon League. So best at not letting goals in, best at scoring goals. I think Purdue-Fort Wayne has a chance to go all the way. They're the team that Robert Morris has to go through if they do end up beating Oakland. Robert Morris and Oakland, they are a rematch from the Horizon League Finals last year. Green Bay and Milwaukee, the other quarterfinal game, those are the 2 other teams that made the semifinals last year. So a lot of familiar faces in this playoffs.
Yeah, that's for sure, Cam. It's going to be a tough road for the Colonials, but you have to say this about them. They haven't lost in conference play. They do have 5 draws, but they haven't lost, and that's really important. When it comes down to playoff time, the confidence has to be high, even though they only have 2 conference wins. Again, they haven't lost. So, will their streak end? I don't know, but the confidence should be high for the Colonials sitting there at the 3 spot.
Yeah, last thing, speaking of a team that hasn't lost, that #1 seed Cleveland State, although it's not a bunch of wins, 5-0-5 in their last 10, so it's a reason they're up where they are. Been really good in conference play. They're definitely going to be the team to watch coming in as the top seed. But now it's time to get into just the Robert Morris stuff. A bunch of teams had games over the weekend. We're going to run you through them real quick. Casey, take it away.
Yeah, Cam, let's first look at volleyball. Volleyball, they had a tough end to the season right now, going through a lot of turmoil. In this one, they lose again here, 3-0. The Colonials had lost 8 games in a row. Last game, they sweep Cleveland State 3-0 to sets. And this one, though, just could not find their footing against the Penguins. Colonials stay second to last in the Horizon League. Penguins stay in the 4 slot. Colonials just couldn't bring it together, and Youngstown sweeps the Colonials after Colonials swept Youngstown last season.
Tough one for the volleyball team, Case. Now on to the football team. They took on St. Francis. Robert Morris won 24-14 in a game that was a little bit closer than the scoreboard says. 3-point game at half. It was also a 3-point game with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Although that being said, Robert Morris gets the win against a winless St. Francis team. They've been struggling. A lot of their players have left ever since the university announced that St. Francis was going to go down to D3 in the next couple of years. But regardless, Robert Morris, good to get a win.
Yeah, let's go back to men's soccer, who we were just talking about, or men's hockey, and this men's soccer, men's hockey, and this one, the Colonials just played a great couple of games here for them, and this one was another draw for men's soccer. Anas had drawn a goal and an assist in this one, and it was just a great game for the Colonials, closing out the regular season against Milwaukee.
Yeah, on to women's hockey. We're going to take a look at those games. Robert Morris took on Delaware, beat them 5-0 in both games. Robert Morris outshot Delaware throughout the two games, 91-32. Jessica McKinnon had 2 goals and 1 assist in the second game. Elena Gianpietro with the same stat line. McKinnon also had a goal in the first game. She was kind of the star of the weekend, and the Colonials needed some positive momentum as they go on to play number 6 Penn State next weekend. So good to have some good momentum rolling.
Yeah, Cam, now let's go over to those men's hockey games against Notre Dame. And this one, the Colonials could not pull through in these games, lose a big 6-3 in the first one, tie 2-2, but won the shootout 1-0 in this one. Shanko, a great game for the Colonials, 23 saves and 920 save percentage in that win. A good couple of fighting games against such a big school for the Colonials here, and a good way to start the season after a struggling last couple seasons.
Yeah, good to recap all of the action around the Colonial athletics world. And when we come back here on Colonial Sports Center, our very own Nick Evans is in studio to tell us who's tricking us and who's treating us this year. Don't go anywhere here on Colonial Sports Center.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back here on Colonial Sports Center. As I mentioned before we went to break, Nick Evans is in studio, but I might have been wrong. I think that's Stitch. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing good today. How you doing, hot dog?
I'm doing fantastic. My buns are warm and I'm enjoying life. Now, you're going to tell us which one of these Colonial teams are tricking us and who's treating us this year, starting with men's soccer.
Yep, glad to hear that. All right. Thanks, guys. While the night is still young for some teams, it has reached the witching hour for others. Tonight, we're going to look, like Cam said, at which teams are treating us and which teams have tricked us. You know, like receiving apples in your candy stash. Starting off on the pitch for men's soccer, this one's a tough decision. The Colonials have not been winning games, but they haven't been losing them either. The men's soccer record currently sits at 2-0-5 in the conference right now with 2 games remaining. That's right, 5 ties. While some might worry about this team, I'm going to give the lads a treat this Halloween. The reigning champs are playing good defense and are consistently getting points in the standings, which should lead to some noise in the playoffs. 11 different players have found themselves on the goal sheet for the Colonials, depth that will be scary for opposing teams to game plan for in what I believe will be another championship run. Let's stay on the field, but let's flip it to American football, where we're going to assess the 2-6 Gridiron team. The Robert Morris football team has not treated its fans to anything this fall, and for Halloween, their bag is empty. Our first dud of the segment goes to the football team, who is averaging a measly 14 points per game and fell way below expectations. This team was poised for championship contention last year, and this year, they have not even sniffed the top of the conference. Hopefully next year they put this behind them, but for now, any team that only has 2 players that have scored touchdowns will be receiving a trick. Speaking of teams putting seasons behind them, the women's hockey team has entered this costume party. After last year's horrifying 2-16-2 conference record, the team has started hot this year at 3-1. But is it for real? The verdict says, yes it is. The women's hockey team is receiving a treat this Halloween with returning star Morgan Giannone leading the charge. Another great surprise this year is newcoming sophomore Jessica McKinnon, who leads the team with 13 points. The Colonials are on a roll after knocking off Delaware 5-0 in both of their games against them, as my co-host just said. And I think this team will treat us to another great season. Finally, our last team. We're on the court with women's volleyball. First 2 games of conference play were 2 wins. Who can't be excited about that? Except, if you like it, look at the rest of their season up to now, we were tricked. Since that start, the Colonials have lost 9 of their 10 conference games and are poised to have a sequel of last year's scary movie, a season with a conference record of 4-14. The women's volleyball team has not had a winning record since entering the Horizon League, and that will continue this year with their horrifying showing. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Nick. It was great to hear from you. I love the spooky theme, the tricks and the treats. I love this case.
I mean, what a couple of characters. We just had talking to each other right there, stitching a hot dog here on CSC. This is what you come here to watch every week for sure.
100%.
Here on our Halloween edition. But Cam, you know what time it is? It's basketball time. It's
It
about to
is
happen.
basketball time, Case, and I'm so excited for it. If it's time for basketball, we're going to look at the basketball timeline, see how everything in the basketball world has shaken up over the last couple months. As you can see, RMU added 8 new transfers. Half of them have never played D1 basketball. I'm not going to hold that against any of them, though. Josh Majafo didn't play D1 basketball. We'll talk about him here in a second. Conference play is going to start in started in December. Go on to win 8 games, their longest winning streak. This was all last year. Lost to Wright State, but finished 7-0 to capture their first Horizon League title. They beat Oakland in overtime in the semifinals of the Horizon League, beat YSU to win their first Horizon League tournament. That eventually sent them to March Madness, where if you ask a person like me, the refs kind of screwed the Colonials out of a first-round victory against Alabama, but that's neither here nor there. And then all of the Colonials fans' hearts got broken. Everyone left. Alvaro Folgueras, the Horizon League Player of the Year. Amarion Dickerson, the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year, entered the transfer portal along with a host of other people. And then in April, 7 more players left, and RMU added 12 new players, essentially rehauling their entire roster. Case.
Cam, I've just been really hungry for Colonials basketball, and this team is hungry to go win the Horizon League again, and they had to add a lot of new faces to try to do it. So let's look at some of these adds and losses. So let's look at the losses first, because Cam, you mentioned the hearts got broken with so many people leaving. You can see the 2 big stars, of course, were Amarion Dickerson and Alvaro Folgueras going to USC and Iowa, respectively. Chris Ford graduating. You had, Hanson, Miller, Tanner O'Grady is not with the team anymore. He's going to focus on his career. Josh Majafo was so good, like you said, didn't play D1 basketball, but was absolutely clutch for the Colonials. Ryan Prather, though, is staying for the Colonials. That one familiar face this year, Justice Williams and Cam Woods, leaving as well. A just tough way for the Colonials to end the season and then lose all those faces. But now let's look at who they're adding, Cam. It's going to be a lot, again, like last year was, a lot of new faces, sorry. So, you got Caleb Brown, a lot of good mix of seniors, juniors, sophomores. A couple guys I want to point out. Deshaun Good, a huge pickup, ripped him from rival IU Indy last season, was Horizon League all-freshman team, 3-time freshman of the week. So going and getting him and in the Horizon League, already a proven Horizon League player, is fantastic, Cam. And another one, Josh Hill, another sophomore, so good from Arkansas State, was a 4-star recruit out of high school, played in 17 games last year, led the Red Wolves to a program record 25 wins, and had a career-high 26 points in 16 minutes last year with 6 3-points.
Case, one of the things I'm really excited for with this team is the size. There's a couple 7-footers on this team. I think there's 4 or 5 players over that 6'10" mark.
Josh Hill, 6'11".
Yeah, some big
Ubang
guys.
Ukon, 7'1".
Exactly, some big dogs on this team, and we know that size plays in the Horizon League. As long as you can match that size with physicality, that's the big thing to watch this year, is if they can do that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year. They're going to have to try to find together. Last year, the Colonials, they had to find a rhythm, so it might take a little bit of time for these guys to mesh together, but when it does, with Andy Toole leading that team, anything could happen.
If anyone can do it, Andy Toole can do it.
Absolutely. Well, Cam, coming up after this, we're going to look at the women's basketball time, as well as some of their adds and losses, and of course, a little later, it's going to have that top 5 plays, so you're going to want to stick around right here on Colonial Sports Center.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? You ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back here on Colonial Sports Center. Case, please stop rubbing your belly. I know that you want a piece of my buns, but you're not getting any.
I've been more hungry for Colonials basketball than you. As good as you look, hot dog.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Speaking of Colonials basketball, it's time for the women's case. Take it away.
Yeah, of course, Cam. We're going to look at another timeline here. Women's basketball has had such a crazy couple of years. Let's take a look at how this timeline has gone in recent times for the Colonials. Cam, since Chandler McCabe got hired in March of 2024, it's just been a wild ride and a trajectory going up and up.
It's exactly what it has been. And McCabe, it was big about getting her players on the roster. It's exactly what she did. Added 6 new transfers to finish her roster. Team started off really slow, 1-7 in conference play until they defeated Youngstown State in Ohio for the first time since 2009, beat Wright State to end the season 10-4, clinched a home playoff game. They ended up reaching the Horizon League semifinals, which means they went to Indy for the first time in program history, lost that semifinal game against Green Bay, but things are looking up for the Colonials as a program, and then McCabe went and got her girls in the portal. 11 players in the portal and added a couple freshmen too.
Yeah, you talk about those additions and losses. Let's look at who they lost here, the Colonials women's team. Let's take a look at last year's roster, seeing who they lost, who they kept. You can see all these faces. Most of them you're not going to see anymore. The only ones you're going to see again, Jada Lee, Noah Givon, and of course Jenica Suggs. But 3 huge players to keep. They were 3 central players to the team. So if there were any 3 players you could have kept, those were definitely 3 of your top choices. But everyone else, Isis Grady, who was so good, Danny Volitich, who was the face of the team for probably her whole time here at RMU, you could argue, she's gone as well. Chomko leaves the 3-point threat. Maya Murray gone as well. So lots of faces leaving. Going to be a new team. Let's look at the new people now. The new faces coming in. And it's a good class coming in, a very young class, Cam. Those 5 freshmen coming in, and it's going to be exciting times. But I do want to stress how important it was they did keep those 3 players to lead this team again.
Yeah, one of the big things that Coach McCabe has talked about is that she wants to recruit locally, and that's exactly what she did. No better example of that than Aslan Malcolm. She is expected to lead this team. She started for Pitt a couple years ago. Didn't start last year, but she was second in the team in scoring. Now she comes to a lower division here in the Horizon League. She's from the Whippeal, played at Chartiers Valley. I expect her to lead this team to great heights.
Well, the one who's really leading this team is Coach Chandler McCabe, and earlier today she had her first press conference. So let's throw it over to Coach McCabe right now.
We've gotten to know each other really well. This group really meshes. It's funny because we have 5 freshmen and 4 seniors, and one of our seniors is a super senior. And we joke all the time. Our freshmen were in 7th grade when she was a freshman in college. But you can tell the age difference, and you can tell, but they all get along. And there's really good leadership off the floor. There's really good leadership in huddles. We want them to be a little bit more vocal, and we're going to pull that out of some of them. But our continuity, our culture, the way they react to each other, it has been, really a joy to watch as a coach. We got 4 seniors. I mean, they're ready to go today. They've played a lot of college basketball. I'm really, really excited about them. But those freshmen on any given night could play a huge role. And the way we recruited, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So it could be any of them on any given night. And they've done a good job staying prepared. For any freshman going into college, it is massively different. There is a large gap there as far as just understanding all of our roles and our expectations, but most importantly, your job on the floor. It's not just offense. You got to learn all the offense, but now you got to know what to do on every kind of coverage, ball screen coverage, flare screens, stagger screens, and we guard everything a bunch of different ways. So it's been really difficult for them, but they've done a really, really good job. A few of them are upstairs watching film right now. They're really, really bought in, and the future of this program is in great hands. Something I said, I was interviewed pre-season last year, and they said, what's the advice you want to give to the fans? And I said, just stay with us. Just stay with us. It might be a long season, but stay with us. And that really came to fruition. We started 1-7. We finished 10-4 in the conference, right? So I think that is something that this year I have a different expectation on. I don't want to start slow and then go well. I want to have a great season all year long. So, that was something I learned last year, though, is as long as there's seconds on that clock, we're going to play hard.
Words from Coach McCabe right there today. She's showing a lot of belief in her team being able to adjust and get used to the system and used to the Horizon League. Big expectations as they start up again this week.
Yeah, after the miracle she pulled last year, I'm very excited to watch that. But I'm even more excited for Top 5 Plays. Special edition of Top 5 Plays this week. In case we're getting Top 10 Plays.
Oh, I'm hungry for it already, Cam.
But it's not happening just yet. It'll be right here on Colonial Sports Center when we come back.
Colonial Sports Center. That's CHC. Women's basketball. Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost again. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's something I can count on to be free.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We're going to waste no time. It's time for the top 5 plays of the men's basketball season last year. Sticking with the men's basketball theme, this one was electric. Top one in our hearts, Tanner O'Grady gets a point last year in the playoffs. This was absolutely electric. As you can see, the event center was rocking. If that's only number 5, I'm excited for the rest of these case. Number 4 play, Cam Woods, shimmy shake, push off, misses. Amarian Dickerson slammed the house down in March Madness. He went off this game. He was the reason the Colonials had a chance. Sad he's gone, but what an electric play for number 4. On to the number 3 play of the game. Alvaro Folgueras goes in, fake, comes out, 4-3, misses, except it doesn't. It gets the right roll, and he looks right in the camera and says, I'm here, guys, I'm here. Time for the number 2 play of the year. Cam Woods brings it up, back into March Madness, finds Amarian Dickerson, 4-3, doesn't go. Alvaro Folgueras, a big body in the paint, finds Dickerson again. He goes up, Euro step for the number 2 play of the year. A beautiful layup here by Dickerson. You see, he goes right past the defender. What a beautiful score, Case.
Cam, he had so much belief in our hearts right there, shattered it, and now we'll see how he is at USC.
Yeah, but we're going to see even more Amarian Dickerson here for the best play of the year, March Madness. Cam Woods, cross court. Oh my goodness. What a pass right on the money. A great finish. You see, Cam Woods says, guys, I've got my binoculars on. It was electric. Case. Oh, I missed that team, but I'm excited for this year.
I'm excited for these top 5 plays for the women's side of the ball. Exciting year for them. A drive to the lane blocked by Danny Volicic. She says, get out of town. And the play keeps going. Danny Volicic down low, pump fakes, puts it up off the glass. Danny Volicic doing it all herself like Wembanyama on both ends of the court. Now let's go on to number 4 here. It's going to be Noah Givone. Back to Danny Volicic again, and she gets it again. Fired up against city rival Point Park. Danny Volicic, we're all sad to see her go, but Noah Givone, what a move and what a dish right there to Danny Volicic, who got it to go for our number 4 play. Fired up Cam. Now on to number 3 right here. This is a name who I am really sad is not on the team anymore. Jada Lee is going to give it to Isis Grady for 3. Bang! Right there at the end of halftime. The usual mid-range specialist gets the 3 bomb to go right there, right before the half for the number 3 play. Sad we don't get to see her mid-range pull-ups anymore. Now on to number 2. Against Pitt in this one, who, like you said, they have a player from Pitt coming to the team now. It's going to be a lot of good passing right here from the Colonials, and they're looking for something. Isis Grady throws cross court to Jada Lee, and that one is good. Great team play right there by the Colonials. Now, number 1 play of the year, and right now against Purdue Fort Wayne, Jada Lee at the top of the arc defending. She gets the pick set on her, but comes back and gets a block. Little Jada Lee tips it over to Maya Murray, and now she's going to take it herself, go down the court, and she's driving, gets that to Givone. You already know what time it is. Bang! Right there once again, Noah Givone, but all set up by Jada Lee. Cam, I'm going to miss the excitements from those teams. Not like we're not going to have any, but I'm going to miss those players especially. Now let's get into these games upcoming right now. We got to take a look. Men's basketball. Who are they playing, Cam? They're playing Iowa. Who's on Iowa? Alvaro Folgueras. That's where he went, the familiar face Horizon League Player of the Year. RMU opens their season against him. Obviously, look out for him, but Albert Vargas is the name you got to look out for RMU. Everyone loves this guy in camp. They are obsessed with him, and there's good reason for that. He's a high scorer, and it's going to be an exciting game against Alvaro Folgueras.
Yeah, Case, I think everyone's been looking forward to that game since the schedule came out. But we're going to take a look at my game to watch. It's the women's basketball game when they take on UIC. Player to watch here is Jessica Carruthers for UIC. She led NAIA in scoring at Indiana U Northwest last year. 31.4 points per game. She's going to be a dog. And Aslan McCollum for the Colonials, who I talked about, the transfer in from Pitt. She's a three-point bomber, shot 38.5% from 3 last year. She is going to be the one to look out for, and I'm excited both teams are back, Case.
Yeah, I'm excited for basketball season. It's finally time. Cam, It's finally time for Halloween. It's been a nice show here today. Exciting time. Cam, you going trick-or-treating?
I don't know if I could miss it, Case.
All right, well, that's all we have here on Colonial Sports Center. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next week.